shoes. I made you wear the Bible shimmy shoes. It's good to do what people say me do. We been saucing on them too hard. I got these people trying to copy chemical. Dripping this flavor I'm walking through. I make you wanna drip sauce too.
What's going on, Metagang? It's Red, and today I'm coming at you with a deck profile update for my Qliphorts. I'm still focusing on trying to turbo out towers, but I'm also trying to be in more control of the game state and the game itself. So, of course, as standard, starting off, you play your 3 scout and your 1 monolith. Yeah, you're just going to be searching out your whole deck with scout, getting your combo plays or your startup plays ready for the Qli engine. And then monolith for however many Qli monsters that get tributed on your turn. You get to draw cards equal to the amount that you tribute. Continuing on, I play 2 carrier. Carrier's pretty solid in the deck. Whenever you tribute it off, you can target a monster your opponent controls and send it back to the hand. 2 Qliphort Helix. Pretty much kind of the same thing as carrier. It's got a tribute effect, except when it gets used for a tribute summon, you can target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it. And typically you want to pair that up with stealth. So I play 3 stealth because whenever he is summoned out by tributing a Qli monster, you can target 1 card on the field, so it can be on your side. You can like bounce your scout from your scale back to your hand, play it again to search it. Or you can bounce any other card on your opponent's side of the field back to their hand, but they cannot activate anything in response to this card's effect activation. I play 1 disc. I was playing like 2 to 3, I don't really remember, after I switched up the deck and started playing with this as is. But I'm really glad that I made the changes that I did now, because I'm seeing way better consistency with the deck and winning. So whenever this card is normal summoned, whenever you use a Qli monster for the tribute, of course, you can special summon 2 Qli monsters from your deck, but they are destroyed during the end phase. 1 Cephalopod, whenever he's summoned out using a Qli monster, the difference of monsters in your graveyard and your opponent is dealt to your opponent times 300 the amount that they have, and then you gain life points times 300 equal to the amount that is the difference. So whatever you deal to him as damage, that's what you gain. 1 Qliphort Shell. There have been some games where Qliphort Shell has really helped out a lot. Whenever he is summoned during the battle phase, he gets 2 attacks. So I mean, who doesn't like a 28 beater that can attack twice? Oh, he also does piercing, I forgot about that. I play 1 Trampolinx. I'm still trying to keep my scale, like my low scales, pretty even to my high ones, but I found this one pretty well to be one of the best lower scales you can run in the deck for whenever you pendulum summon. You can bounce one of your pendulum monsters back from the pendulum zone. And typically if you have this and scout paired up, because of scout you can't special summon anything but Qli monsters. So if you're in a certain game scenario where you have these guys paired up, depending on your hand, you can bounce scout back after you pendulum summon, so that you can go ahead and get into your XZ plays, or whatever other plays that you would do in this deck. And then of course the 1 Qliphort Towers, I'm looking into putting it up to 2 sometime. I feel like 1 is kinda too low for me to be running because I'm doing so much searching within a turn. It's kind of hard to really push for that unless you open up just right. Going into our spells, we play 3 Summoner's Art. You just need to find a way to search out your Scout, or if you already have Scout but you want your Monolith instead, if you don't open up a Trampolinx, You can use this to search it out instead and save a scout search for later. 3, sacrifice. Some people, I've seen their ratio be like a 2 or a 1 of this, but I highly recommend this card being a 3 of. It's one of the best cards for the deck, I feel like, because whenever it's equipped to a Qli monster, it gains 300 attack. Not only that, it can't be destroyed by battle. And if you normal summon a Qli monster while this card isn't equipped to it, if you normal summon a monster while this card is equipped, and if you normal summon like a Qli monster, something like your freaking stealth, it'll count as 2 tributes on that one monster instead of it just being 1. And then whenever this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to pretty much search for any Qli monster from your deck. So if you don't have your scout opening hand, you can search out your scout, or you can search out like a combo extender, or your whatever you really need. Nice little fun card. 3 Mystic Mine, just because if you open up kind of rough and you're going second, you kind of just want to hit the Mystic Mine and set back to build up your resources and then explode on your opponent. This is another card I was thinking about changing the ratio on, instead of it being a 2 of to a 3 of, but it's Wavering Eyes. Mainly because with Double Iris coming off of the ban list, I feel like once we start getting more local plays, Pin Magicians are going to be an issue, and I want to have the answer to them. As well as getting a benefit from it off of it. So this will allow you to destroy cards in both players' pendulum zones, and then you get effects based off of how many you destroy. You destroy 1, you inflict 500 big blow. That's not the main thing you run this for. The main thing you run this for is from 2 and up. So if you destroy 2 or more, you can add 1 pendulum monster from your main deck to your hand. And if you destroy 3 or more, you can banish a card on the field. If you destroy 4 or more, you get to apply all those effects, plus search another copy of this card from your deck. One of tech card that I like, because it's a 1 card Qliphort Genius, is a Sky Striker Hornet Drones. So the combo line that you typically do for that is you would activate this, link off your token into Kagari, activate Kagari to get this back, and then you would link off your Kagari for either your Hayate or your Kiana. It doesn't really matter, but then you would activate this again and then link off to go into either one or the other. And then since you have 2 machines, you can link into your Qliphort Geniuses off of that. But yeah, that's the main reason why this card's in there. I play 1 Laser Quilp. This is our fuel card, making it to where our normal summons for our Qliphort monsters cannot be negated. And we get an additional normal summon for a Qli monster once a turn. This is another card I was thinking about bringing up to 2 and cutting the Mystic Mine into my side deck for more utility in the deck, per se. 1 card of Demise because, well, later on when we get into the rest of the deck, here in the next few cards, you'll see why I play it, because I can just set a bunch of back row, activate it, and draw, and then play off of it. 1 Pot of Riches, it's another good draw card, pretty much, and it allows you to recycle resources from your extra deck or your graveyard. For the traps, I'm running 2 Solemn Judgment, just because this deck really falls down to a lot of decks I like to spam out. Same thing with Solemn Strike, decks still falling out to decks I like to spam out, so if I can hit their normal summon, I definitely want to hit their special summon, but depending on what they're playing, if I notice what it is, then I'll hold back and hit these where it would definitely hurt them the most. 2 Solemn Warnings, just because being able to special summon by a card effect is stupid, So, yeah, we gotta run those to counter that. I play 2 Lose 1 Turns. It's an amazing card for the deck. Really helps you keep control of the game at the start, so that way you can build your board up and get your plays going. And then the one card that a lot of people seem to hate going against in the deck is Qliphort. So essentially what this card does is, if a monster is normal summon or flip summon at level 4 or below, its effects are negated. If your opponent would special summon a level 5 or higher monster, its effects are negated, and when it leaves the field, it banishes. And then, you know, if you don't have any face-up Qliphort cards, so meaning it can be the monster, field card, your scales, whatever, as long as it says Qliphort in it, you can keep this card face-up on your field. Moving into the extra deck, I'm still running 2 Genius because you only really need 2, honestly. I feel like 3's an overkill and 1's not enough. For the rest of the links, as you've seen at the beginning, I'm playing a small Sky Striker engine of Kagari, Kiana, and Hayate. For my XZs, I'm still playing the 1 Cowboy because, you know, Cowboy's pretty fun to play with in the deck. 1 Castel because having removal is good. 101 because taking your opponent's monster as a material is still pretty relevant in this meta and still affects them a little bit. Baguska because, you know, Baguska's just a... He's
an awesome card.
He's an amazing card, guys. The Cyber Dragon Nova, just to go into the Cyber Dragon Affinity play for when you open up the Trample Links and a Scouts, that way you can pull off a couple searches, get a couple level 5s, and just go into that first turn. And Abyss Dweller. Unfortunately, my extra deck is not finished. I believe this is a 12 count. If I were to put like 3 more cards in here, guys, it would be a Utopia double with a Utopia Lightning, and probably either an Exciton Knight or a Tornado Dragon to just finish it off. But that's it for the deck profile, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. You know, always hit that like button for more. Subscribe, hit the notification bell for more. So that way you know when we upload stuff like this, openings, and all our tournament videos. Yeah, just have a good one, guys. We'll catch you later.
Like and subscribe to Metagame. Hit the bell icon.
I get the drip from the way I move. I got the flavor like barbecue.
Metagame.
I got the flavor like barbecue. The flavor contagious, it's all on you. It's all on you. You couldn't deny if you wanted to. You couldn't deny if you wanted to. We sauce up the way you know it's true. Flavored in. Just some flavored in. Let me see you, drip some flavor.